Welcome back to Gossip Gallery, where timeless allure takes center stage, and today, we're turning the spotlight on the unforgettable Anita Ekberg, whose magnetic presence in the 1960s lived on through the 1980s and continues to captivate in 2025. Born September 29, 1931, in Malmö, Sweden, the stunning actress made cinematic history with her legendary role in Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita, 1960, where her iconic Trevi Fountain scene defined sensual elegance and earned her a permanent place in pop culture. Though decades have passed, Ekberg's image remained so powerful that in the 1980s she was still the object of admiration, affectionately dubbed every guy's crush, a fact recently revisited in a 2025 YouTube retrospective titled Hey Hollywood. In that unforgettable moment, her statuesque 5 feet 7 inches frame and hourglass figure, reportedly around 130 pounds, poured into a sleek black dress, left a visual legacy that sparked a wave of nostalgia and homage across social platforms like X, where fan accounts posted tributes with captions like, "Anita Ekberg was a goddess," and classic film lovers revisited her most iconic roles. Her cinematic style didn't just captivate moviegoers, but also influenced fashion throughout the decades, with her curves celebrating silhouettes in films like Boccaccio 70, 1962, inspiring the bold, voluptuous trends of the 1980s, as noted by Vogue in a 1985 style retrospective. Reddit's r/movies users continue to praise her for her screen magnetism, though some still debate whether her sex symbol status overshadowed her dramatic range, as mentioned in a Variety 2023 piece. But Ekberg's fans insist she was far more than a fountain siren. Her Golden Globe win as Most Promising Newcomer for War and Peace, 1956, and her memorable turn in Four for Texas, 1963, proved her versatility. Her off-screen life added yet another layer of depth. In the 1970s, she became an outspoken advocate for animal rights, supporting shelters throughout Italy, where she lived until her passing in 2015 at age 83, as noted in The Guardian's obituary. In one of her final interviews with Corriere della Sera in 2005, she reflected on her fame with poise, saying, "I lived my life fully," a statement that reinforces her 1980s icon status as more than just a pretty face, but a woman who owned her story. Her elegance was no accident either. Ekberg was known for maintaining her glow with Mediterranean meals, fresh air walks, and skincare rituals that kept her radiant, as described in a 1960s Photoplay magazine feature. Fast forward to today, and she still has a devoted following of over 50,000 fans across Instagram tribute pages like @AnitaEkbergForever, where posts celebrate her unique blend of sultry sophistication and European charm. While some modern-day X-users argue that her Trevi Fountain moment eclipses other performances, fans continue to defend her comedic talent in films like The Alphabet Murders, 1965, which showcased her playful side. The fashion world hasn't forgotten her either. Her La Dolce Vita dress continues to influence red carpet looks in 2025, with ELLE recently citing her style as a key reference in today's return to dramatic, old Hollywood silhouettes. A recent YouTube trend analysis video titled Anita Ekberg's Crush Icon Legacy reaffirmed her enduring presence as a cultural muse, with fashion critics and pop historians alike agreeing that her blend of sensuality and elegance shaped decades of style and screen presence. Although her prime fame predated the 1980s, her influence thrived during that era, as Gen X audiences rediscovered her vintage allure through television reruns and nostalgic tributes, cementing her as one of the most unforgettable faces of mid-century cinema. From her early days as Miss Sweden in 1950 to her transformation into an international screen siren, Ekberg's story is a journey of beauty, ambition, and fearlessness. Her unapologetic confidence inspired generations to embrace their curves and flaunt their individuality, with every photo and performance acting as a bold statement of feminine power. Fans continue to marvel at how she turned every camera frame into a moment of cinematic magic, especially the Trevi Fountain scene, arguably one of the most iconic sequences in film history, watched by millions and continuously referenced in modern pop culture. Social media users like @CinemaVibes44 have called her the ultimate siren of her time, and it's hard to argue with that label given the way she continues to define glamour, even in digital spaces. As we revisit her story through the lens of 2025 admiration, it becomes clear that Anita Ekberg was far more than a fleeting bombshell. She was a movement, a muse, and a mirror reflecting the complex elegance of womanhood. Her legacy is a living mood board for bold style, unapologetic sensuality, and lasting power, inspiring both fashion houses and everyday fans to embrace timeless glamour. As these reflections gain traction online, especially around the reemergence of her most celebrated images leading up to May 17, 2025, the conversation around her doesn't fade, it only deepens. So, as you scroll through the fan art, rewatch her classic scenes, or take inspiration from her iconic style, remember what Anita Ekberg represented, a woman who redefined what it meant to be seen, admired, and remembered. Stay with Gossip Gallery for more classic star power and the legacies that continue to shape our screens, styles, and standards of beauty.